Stop scrolling. Seriously, when was the last time you actually looked at your superannuation balance? If you're like most Australians, the answer is probably never or when I first signed up. But here's the thing. With the cost of living going crazy, your super is quietly working harder for you than your bank account ever will. And today, I've got the brand new data for 2026. We are going to find out exactly what a good super balance looks like for your age, whether you are miles ahead or need to catch up, and the 4 specific moves you can make this week to fix it. Let's get into it. The destination. Retirement goals. Before we figure out if you're on the right path, we need to know where we are actually going. It's like putting a destination into Google Maps. You need the end point. The Association of Superannuation Funds of Australia, or ASFA, is the main authority for this. They calculate the lump sum you need to retire comfortably. For 2026, the target is, for a single person, around $595,000. For a couple, around $690,000. Now, what does comfortable actually mean? It doesn't mean a private jet. It means you own your home, you have private health insurance, you can eat out occasionally, go on a few trips, and not stress about turning on the heater in winter. Keep that number in the back of your mind, roughly $600K for a single. That's the finish line. The 2026 averages table. All right, let's look at the raw averages. This is the data fresh for 2026. Don't panic if you're not exactly here. This is just the average, and averages can be weird, but it gives us a benchmark. Age, male, female. 25 to 29, $17,545, $17,840. 60 to 64, $205,385, $153,685. Look at the jump between the early 30s and the late 30s. That is the magic of compound interest starting to kick in. Your money is starting to make money on its own. Also, I have to point this out because it's important. Look at the gap between men and women. By the time we hit 60, there's a massive difference. Ladies, if you are watching, we're going to cover some strategies later specifically to help close that gap. The Simplified On-Track Guide. Now, averages are one thing, but I prefer a simplified checklist. If you walked up to me at a barbecue and asked, "Am I okay?" here is the range I'd want you to be in. In your 20s, if you have between $10,000 and $30,000, you're actually doing great. The goal here is just to build the habit of checking it. In your 30s, you want to be between $50,000 and $90,000. This is the grind decade. Consistency is key here. In your 40s, you should be looking at $110,000 to $190,000. This is where you really start to see momentum. In your 50s, this is the last lap. You want to be between $200,000 and $320,000. This is the decade to maximize everything. And in your 60s, you're looking at $310,000 up to about $450,000, depending on when you plan to pull the trigger. If you're above these numbers, well done, honestly. If you're below them, don't stress. That's why we're here. The action plan. How to check. So how do you actually check where you stand? Stop guessing. Here's your mission for today. I want you to do this as soon as this video ends. Step 1, open your MyGov account or the app for your super fund, whether that's Australian Super, Host Plus, Rest, whoever. Step 2, log in. Your balance is usually front and center. Step 3, write it down. While you're in there, do a quick search for something else. Multiple accounts. If you've ever changed jobs, you might have 3 or 4 different super accounts and you're paying fees on every single one of them. That is literally setting money on fire. Consolidate them into your main fund. The 4 boosters. Okay, so you've checked your balance, maybe you're a bit behind, or maybe you're on track but you want to get ahead. Here are 4 ways to boost your super literally starting this week. Tip number 1 is salary sacrifice. This is where you ask your payroll department to take a little extra out of your pre-tax pay and put it into super. Even if it's just $50 a week, over 20 years, that could be tens of thousands of dollars extra thanks to compound interest. Tip number 2 is check your fees. Open your last super statement, look for the section on fees and costs. If your fund is charging you more than about 1% in fees, you might be getting ripped off. Switch to a low-cost index fund option if your fund has one. Tip number 3 is review your investment type. If you're 35 and your super is sitting in conservative or cash, Why? You have 30 years until retirement. You should be in growth or high growth to maximize returns. If you're 60, switch to balanced to protect what you have. Set and forget is dangerous here. Tip number 4 is the government co-contribution. If you earn less than around $58,000 a year, the government will actually give you free money, up to $500, if you put a little bit of your own after-tax money into Super. It's literally a cash bonus from the ATO. Google Government Super Co-contribution after watching this.